Hey guys, welcome to Rufus and Doofus. Chico here. Rufus is at home chewing on a big bone that I got him yesterday at the butcher shop. Oh yeah, one of those big shank bones. Ha, man, he's like going to town on that because it's got all that marrow in there and it's about yay long, so his tongue just can't get to the other end. And he's trying and gnawing. So he's busy. Okay, purpose of this video today. Been getting a lot of questions on a few particular things. One of them goes back to one of the first mods that I did on the RV, which was to replace the old dumb converter that was in there. I believe, I can't remember at the moment, but I believe it was a 30 amp or a 40 amp converter. And I replaced it with a Progressive Dynamics 60 amp converter. And the question is, what made me decide to go bigger, and why not go bigger than the 60? So, okay, to answer that question, there was some concern that because the first one was 40 and blah, 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 that by going up to 60, I was going to stress the wiring and all of that, and you know how it goes. Well, I don't think that charger puts out a peak 60 amps all the time. I also don't think that the wiring that was there was insufficient to take care of 60 amps if it were to go through it. However, I did not want to go too much higher than 60 amps because there are other things in the system that may have gotten stressed, not just the wiring. So I went with 60 to play it safe, and I got to tell you, it's been performing exceptionally well. So, and you know, I don't know about other converters, I don't know about RVs, but in mine, going from 40 to 60 was not a big jump, did not cause any problems, charges the batteries beautifully, does it at the different levels so that we're not cooking the batteries, and I couldn't ask for better performance out of the Progressive Dynamics converter. It was a little bit more complicated in my RV than it would have been in a lot of others. I had to do a little rewiring, especially on the AC side. In retrospect, they made a direct replacement for the converter that was in there, but it was very, very permanent. It basically took half of what was in there, the converter part, and swapped it out, and it was in there. Once you put it in there, you weren't going to be taking it out. And I liked the Progressive Dynamics model that I got because not only can I take it out if I want to for servicing or whatever, but it allowed me some options for placement. So I hope that answers that question. Now, another question. What made me decide to do this RV life in the first place? Well, that's an interesting question. Ooh, do I have a smoothie mustache? I just got done drinking a smoothie. You know, I'm on that health kick. Well, the reason I decided to do it is I'm originally from up north, and I moved down to Florida. I like it in Florida, but I must tell you that it can get very, very hot. The other thing is that I moved into a kind of a 55 plus community, and it's nice, and there's plenty of amenities, like, you know, did I say that right? Well, in any case, there's plenty of things to do, like the pool and the hot tub, which is nothing but people soup, nasty. So yes, I like it here, but you know, it's a double wide mobile home. It just doesn't go anywhere. You know, it's kind of like an RV, but it doesn't go anywhere. It's kind of put right there. And the lot rent started off at a decent rate, but every year it increases. And my particular one that I bought needed a lot of work. And when I got there, I said, you know, I don't want to be here, so I didn't do the work. So naturally, it's just the way I bought it. It's sitting on top of a part of the park that doesn't drain well. I don't like it. And I always wanted to see the country. Well, here's the deal. I'm older. I got rid of a ton of stuff up in New York when I had a house and I moved down here. I have downsized tremendously from the New York situation, and I want to downsize more, and I'm single. Yeah, nobody wants me, no women. Nope. I'm just, one of those guys that a little bit too far gone to be trained. So I want to see the country. So everything is in my favor. The other beautiful thing is that instead of paying rent and not having much money left to do other things, now I can pay for gas and a little bit of RV park rent and maybe some boondocking and such. And while I'm doing that, I'm always waking up in a new area. It might be a forest one day, it might be the ocean another, it might be lakeside another, it might be a desert, it might be a vineyard with that thing that you can join for $40 a year and you get to stay free at all these different places if you support that vendor. So there's farms, there's vineyards, there's cheese breweries, you name it. So there's all kinds of places to go. That's why I'm excited. That's why I chose to do the RV life. Hope that answers that question. You know who you are. You know who you are. The people that ask that question, you know who you are. Other question that seems to crop up all the time. What's my timeline? I wish I knew. I thought I knew. Okay? I bought the RV a year ago this month. I believe it's a year ago this month. Close to it. And my intention was to leave by January of that year. Didn't quite go that way. I bought the RV. It's a beautiful RV, but it had some issues, and one of the issues happened to be one that was not easy to find. Yeah, it was not easy to fix, and I really didn't know any good mechanics down here, so I fished around. I thought I knew what the problem was. Acted like a fuel starvation problem. I brought it to a guy who kind of really screwed me. He'd hold on to the RV for a couple of weeks, and then he'd do something, and he got fixated on the fuel pump, and then he started swapping fuel pumps and this and that and blah, 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 blah. Make a long story short, he pissed me off, cost me money, ruined my plans, and never fixed the goddamn problem. Yeah, I got it back the way I dropped it off to him. Not happy. His name's Ulf. If you're ever in Vero Beach and you go to Ulf for a mechanical issue, don't expect to get it fixed. And he's not cheap, and whether he fixes it or not, he's still charging you. Okay, I vented. I feel better now. So that's one of the things that held me up. That's what can happen to screw up your timeline. Other things that can screw up your timeline is the simple fact that downsizing from huge to small isn't quite as hard as downsizing from small to minimal. It's hard. And I've been doing my best, and I got rid of a lot of stuff, but I did not get rid of everything. So that held me up, okay? And then I had a health issue. I knew I wasn't feeling right. And when I finally addressed it, which took, excuse me a moment, took about 3 months or 4 months simply to face the fact and admit that I was not and healthy enough to go on the road with problems. It's just not a smart thing to do, not a smart thing to do. So when I finally brought myself to go to the doctor and take care of the issue that I thought was the only issue I had, it was like opening up Pandora's box. Yeah, I mean, wow. Diabetes, high blood pressure. Then I got this raging freaking infection in my foot, which I thought I was going to die. And if it didn't go away or we didn't get it fixed, I was going to die one way or another. I'll tell you, man, I never had a pain like that my entire life. So that's why I'm not really sure of my timeline, even though I thought I was. And now, if you guys have been watching, you know that I'm going to be here till at least December, probably later than that, because I've still got appointments, I still got procedures that got to be done. I still haven't got rid of stuff because being that I was not well, then I started taking my mind off of getting rid of crap, so I didn't put stuff on eBay when I should have, and you know how it goes. So yeah, that's it. So I hope I answered that question. Why am I recording here in the wind? You know, GoPro's a nice camera, but the slightest amount of wind, it sounds like I'm in a freaking hurricane. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to answer those questions as the best I could. And I hope to God that this wind is not messing up my video. Hope you can hear it. Don't get mad at me. The microphone I bought that's external with the little wind buffer is not any good. They should have wasted my time. Yeah, so that thing, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Maybe I can hang something from it. Worthless. All right, guys. You have a great day. Hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.